Okay, Gil, you're live.
Are you doing some kind of introduction or not?
I'll allow you to do that.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much to join us today. It's a great pleasure to have you on this first webinar about Portnox CORE. Together with me today, Judah will take you through a live demo, and Idan is going to track your questions. In case that you have questions, you feel free to submit them, and we will try to answer at least some of them in the end of the session. So welcome on board, and we are starting right now. For those who it's the first time that we make the introduction, so be aware that Portnox is a company that established in 2007. We are doing just NAC. We don't do anything else. We have around 600 customers worldwide, and we have a few offices all over the globe. And as you can see, some prize that we won and some market recognition about our technology and us as a company. What is all about NAC and why we are spending now with 20 minutes or so to discuss about NAC and why it's important to discuss NAC today. NAC is not only network access control. It doesn't mean that it's only about the access. It's also about visibility. It's also about knowing what are the devices that are connected to your network. And only when you have the full picture, the full visibility about your devices according to the network, according to the user, then you can take a real decision and apply enforcement. Without it, you are like blind in the dark, and that's the main reason why NAC is coming back to the table. Also, bear in mind that during the COVID-19, a lot of people are working from anywhere, basically. And you as an organization, you as a company, need to provide them the ability or the flexibility to work from wherever it is, but at the same time, to keep the same level of security regardless where the user or the devices are located. And what we're trying to achieve with the NAC. So as I said, in order to be secure, you must understand what you need or what is your network look like. And if you want to protect your network, you need to know which type of devices that are connected to the network, and obviously to align the device according to the authentication or the measurement of risk. Then obviously, if it's a risky device, you want or not legitimate device, you want to isolate them from the network before they're causing any harm to you as a employee. We're going today to speak about Portnox CORE. It's our legacy solution, and you're asking you what new about it. So today we're going to expose some new technology that we're going to add to the solution, but without saying that it's agentless and vendor agnostic, and without mention that we are part of more wide ecosystem, I cannot even start. So you're all familiar with this slide about the infrastructure, and for me it's important to emphasize that in order to implement Portnox CORE, you don't need to change anything in your network, and that's the reason why it's so simple and easy to deploy and easy to maintain. What is the new feature? It's a huge milestone for us. where we're adding the radio server capability as a kind of add-on to the solution in order to enhance the level of security that we provide you. And obviously, it's something that you, as a reseller or partner, can go now back to your existing customer and have additional sales to the existing solution that they already have. Once again, it's option, and we're going to cover it shortly with a live demo. I cannot finish my presentation without mention that the value about our solution, and one of the most important value that we provide you is the visibility. So simplicity is something important, but simplicity without the visibility, it means nothing. So we provide you with both visibility and simplicity, and that's something that it still exists and still something that we proud of our achievement. That's the reason that most of our clients choose us. Some of reference, some of our value customer and good reference, and we will be happy to provide you with any type of reference that you want. And now I want you to pass you to Judah to take you through live demo. Thank you. Judah?
Yes, sharing my screen. So Portnox core dashboard of this UI that has been gone through a makeover last year. Basically here the first value you get as a Portnox core utilizer is network visibility. So we scan your network and onboard your switches and then map layer 2 to layer 3 to show you your network map with your all network or with your managed network entities. When I say network entities, I mean access points with connected clients and network access switches. We can manage sites. As you can see, we are totally vendor agnostic. We use standard protocols to add to integrate network access switches and access points. And here you can manage sites, place switches to different sites according to their physical location, and thus apply different kinds of policies. So I want to take you through an initial dashboard. From here we can filter our connected domain machines to see how many we have right now and check their security status. So let's look for not compliant machines. Currently we have 2, and then we will jump here to their physical connection on managed ports. So you remember pooling switches association between layer 2 and 3, as you can see here, and then a smart filtering of endpoints and their physical connection. From here, we can go deeply and investigate what happened to this device, why it's not compliant. So let's go to see device details. So we can see that this is a domain machine. It's profiled by our 2 profiling agents, our fingerprint and our IoT radar. Pretty same. This is very precise. The authentication method. So this machine has been authenticated by WMI. We can see connected user that was fetched after authentication from Active Directory. And here we have 2 problems. First one is antivirus is not installed on that endpoint, and second violation, it has more than 1 active network adapter, and we limited to 1. In addition, we pull installed applications, services, Windows updates. We can see open ports on that endpoint, and I remind you, right now everything is agentless. So without any manipulation of your network, any preparation of your endpoints. You just define, you just adjust, you fulfill prerequisites, adjust your firewall rules, and then we scan your network, onboard the switches, pull the endpoints, show them, map your network and show them on your network, and then start profiling, as you can see here, profiling, authentication, and compliance. We have many added values, many added values in terms of beyond network access control. Like here on this IP phone, we can show you internal number, internal phone extension, and we can search by that extension to locate this very IP phone on its port. In addition, we have many other search capabilities. So here we can search our network entities according to their brand, and as I mentioned, it's vendor agnostic, so we support basically all switches that are managed by SNMP, SSH, API, like we integrate Meraki by API, Meraki switches and Meraki access points, and we can check their health, their status, which one are enforced, monitored, or maybe some switches are in communication failure status. We support cluster with high availability option, where a backup server takes responsibility for active one if communication fails. Here we can see our building blocks with many authentication methods, and again we use built-in standards, protocols, and services to authenticate endpoints. We have many templates to perform compliance, to perform agentless posture assessment of endpoints. We can adjust and add more. Basically, once an endpoint is bind, we can check any service, any process, anything in file system, anything in registry. And reporting, of course, audit of end users. We can track changes, network changes of endpoints, of switches, of ports, of access points, etc. Captive portal for contractors and guests is also supported with this product. You basically you adjust your captive portal here. You can upload your logo, set your disclaimer, and set different levels of access for guests and contractors. So basically, this is it from high level of current setup of Portnox CORE. Again, I remind you, profiling, authentication, and compliance. And I just want to mention that by Q2 of this year, we will include fail close capabilities. We will include 82.1x. We'll implement .1x along with our regular SNMP authentication. I can show you a build with infrastructure with preparation for 82.1x implementation. So here, this is Portnox, as you know, post-connect policy, fail open, access rules, authentication methods, and reactions by SNMP. Reactions, I mean shutdown port, isolated VLAN, etc. By Q2, we will include 82.1x capabilities. And here, this is a pre-connect policy for wired and wireless. You can see terms of 82.1x world, of radius world, like IPTLS, authentication by certificate, by domain identities, implementation of MS CHAP, and VLAN and segmentation by radius. So dynamic VLAN assignment, VLAN segmentation of network by radius, and dynamic access control list upon authentication, upon authentication violation, or upon compliance violation will be possible as well. So, so implementation is a process. Beta is expected by end of quarter number 2. So back to my demo. Do you have any questions so far?
Not something. So, Yuda, if we ready to summarize, I would like to say that the additional the add-on for the radio server basically provide us and you and your prospect with another level of security, and at the same time without giving up about the things that we all like about Portnox CORE, the simplicity and the visibility that does not exist in the pure .1x tools. So here you have the combination to from one end to enhance the level of security by adding the .1x capability, and at the same time you don't need to give up about the visibility that can only achieve by the SNMP protocol and so on and so on. And this is the value or the new value that we are bringing over to the table. All right.
Yeah, there was a question, Gil, about wireless authentication. I just would like to answer. So currently, with fail open approach, we authenticate. We basically check compliance of endpoints. So usually, customers exclude the networks where guest networks or other networks that might include mobile devices. With the 82.1x implementation, we can authenticate any type of device that supports EAP authentication by certificate or by identity, by local or domain identity. In addition, we will include agents. Currently, it's pure totally agentless product. By Q4, we will include agents. So if you know our agent P in our SaaS solution, Portnox Clear, we will have the same in Portnox CORE. So customers will be able to install to deploy Agent P and onboard their mobile devices or other devices automatically and perform authentication and posture assessment. Agent P supports 5 operating system: Windows, OS 6, Linux, Android, and iOS.
And there's another question, and yes, it's going to be, and that's it's a good question about maybe just to highlight better the value of combination of the .1x and more. The .1x is going to be add-on for the existing core customer. It means that you will add another component that it's optional. It means that you can add it if you want it, and obviously it's going to be hybrid in a way that the device will be first authenticated by the radius, assigned to specific VLAN according to its group and so on and so on. And only then it will go through the same process as any other device through the core flow, meaning profile and so on and so on and so on. So,
And
yes.
to add to hybrid solution, if you imagine a traditional NOC and 82.1x approach, if device has connected healthy and has become risky, a traditional NOC will use COA, COA, change of authorization protocol, to cut it off immediately. We can do COA. We will be able to do COA, change of authorization as well, but we will combine SNMP approach and 82.1x. So you can reset port by SNMP, so exclude COA from scope to not rely on COA, and just reset port and perform authentication again with not compliant flag, which will isolate the device by radius attribute.
Okay.
So yes, it will be completely hybrid. Some ports you can set SNMP, some other ports will do 82.1x.
Okay. And there's another question, Yuda, just came in. See if that's something that we can comment. WMI.
Yes, capability involved using first phase will be agentless. So we will use built-in supplicants of endpoints. If it's a Windows supplicant or OS X or Linux or whatever, any device or even printers today have active have 82.1x supplicants. So agentless in first phase. Second phase will include agent P, but agent P will be mostly used for posture assessment, not for authentication. Combination, yes, yes. We will
NVPN.
and VPN, yes. Will it combine WMI remote edges? The answer is yes. So we will do authentication by EAP authentication, EAP extensible authentication protocol. Actually, I have a good presentation here. We have a few minutes. Let me share my screen again. So I'm showing you phase 1 of 82.1x implementation. So here, endpoint connects to switch or to access point, sends authentication request. Radius authorizes according to the policy, certificate valid and valid, or domain identity is valid and valid. Sends back allow or deny. It can include attribute of VLAN or access control list. From here, Portnox will do agentless posture assessment. So it will be done by WMI. It will bind machine by WMI and perform compliance like you know today. If device is not compliant, it will reset that port and comply, and that device will come back and pass radius authentication, but now with not compliant flag. So radius will send other VLAN and will isolate it from production according to the policy.
Okay, so Yuda, I think that we are good to close the session and to wait for you in about 20 minutes to our clear webinar. Once again, I would like to thank you all to participate and looking to find you all join us in about 20 minutes for the clear webinar as well. Should you have any further question, please don't hesitate. You know us, contact us, and we will be happy to support you through any sales cycle or support issue. Thank you very much, Yuda, and thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. See you later.